Hello and welcome to my stream today, where, as you can already tell by the fact that the game is already on the screen, sort of, kind of, mostly, I am going to go back to Ghost Online today, where we will continue the event that we started last week, where I have diligently done most of my dailies, every time, except for one day. So I have lots of boxes I can open. Haven't opened any of them yet. I have the feeling that I kind of want to do that after we finish the event on stream, because that would be funny. Yeah, because as you can see, there's all of these boxes that I have, and I haven't opened one. Material gotcha? Well, if it's just about resources, I really don't care, because if you look up there, I'm kind of swimming in resources. Hello, Bakasura. Now, we shall go back to the Longitudonal Strain, but there's a special price at 777, but I know, I'm aware. So last week, we stopped. Actually, I should probably go and quickly read through these. Nope, that's still the same, that's still the same. She's quiet. That's still the same. I don't know why we can click on the toilet. That doesn't do anything. Why is it counted as a protagonist? Ha! Another ginger ale, nice. Got to buy no matter what. And the suitcase is moving. Okay. So, this is the main part of the next thing that we need to do. Where we get a vintage gramophone, apparently. So does the farming map. Carriage F09, Intercontinental Railway Train, Future. The sound of the Intercontinental train thundering along the metal tracks can still be heard in the dining carriage. Instructor Lieutenant Miller takes a sip from a Midori with vodka. She keeps scanning the dining carriage like a hawk. Meanwhile, on board the Colt Express, the whistling of the steam engine, the chugging of the train along the tracks, and the tanginess of the tequila mixed with lemon and on the tongue. A bizarre trilateral transaction is currently underway. Then let's start with the introductions again. Welcome aboard the Colt Express. Clutching an invitation, which is now taking the form of an ace of spades, Lumella has no intention of accepting this arrangement of negotiating with two people at the same time. She is on a mission, and no such anomalies happen without a reason. Hold on. What is it? Lumella points at the doll with the obscured face sitting opposite of her. On the invitation it says that all deals on the Colt Express are made 1-on-2-1. What is happening here? But it's quite interesting that they use SAA Mod 3 for this avatar. The specific reason is that it's the single action army. It is the Colt of the West. It is the revolver the Colt Express is named after. The Colt Single Action Army. It is the Western gun. The Ace of Spades. And what's the Colt Walker? The Colt Walker is way later, in fact. Like, yes, it's a Western gun as well, but SAA is the Western gun. Like, the Colt Single Action Army is so well known that if a revolver is usually depicted in a Western setting, it's usually a Colt Single Action Army. They're synonymous. You see one, you don't even realize that it's one. These things were all over the West. Yeah. Same as the Winchester lever-action rifles. They were everywhere. Forgive me for being blunt, Miss Queen of Hearts, but you are ruining your own reputation as the manager of a renowned black market trading hub. Here's the thing, ma'am. I'll admit that this is entirely unexpected, and even I cannot explain why this is happening. Please believe me when I say that I'm even more surprised than you. How about this? I'll give both of you something with a value of 2 ounces of Sardis gold. I'm sure you know how much that is worth. That should be adequate in conveying my apologies. Three of Clubs, who has been quiet the whole time, slowly mutters to herself. 0.3 ounces in Sardis gold can be converted to roughly 10,000 credits, which is enough to cover my train fare from Warsaw to Berlin. I accept the compensation. To travel from Warsaw to Berlin, the first class fare is 21,860 credits, while the second class fare is 10,900 credits. So 3 of clubs boarded the train in Warsaw and is travelling in the second class carriage. The compensation is not the point. I'm very disappointed in the fact that you choose to cover up the problem when you first discovered it. Perhaps I should reconsider doing business with you, Queen of Hearts. Queen of Hearts sighs and shrugs. Look, if you want to back out, I will not stop you. But if I am to shut down this carriage, both of you will be made to leave. Of course, you will be refunded double your ticket price. What? Wait, no, I can't have that. Swift Clubs interrupts hastily. Are you unhappy with the compensation? No, I just want to know why Ace of Spades refuses to proceed with the transaction. We've both come here to buy what we want. Even if there are not two of us because of some malfunction, can't we still buy our own stuff? How does my presence affect you? It affects me a great deal. It doesn't matter if this doesn't bother you. But do know that this is a black market. Nobody wants to have their real identity exposed. I don't care. I must do this. If it bothers you so much, wait until I finish my business and you can do whatever you want. As an instructor, hardly any dolls would speak up to Ludmilla in this manner. So brazen and stubborn. Still, her target isn't 3 of clubs, but Queen of Hearts. Since 3 of clubs is so adamant, I'll agree to your arrangements, but don't make a habit of it. Then let us begin. Don't worry, I pride myself in being fair and honest. With a smile, Queen of Hearts flicks her finger. A booklet appears in the hand out of thin air. She looks at the 2 dolls. She snaps her fingers and 2 more identical booklets appear. She gives them out to Ludmilla and 3 of clubs. We'll start with some explanation. First of all, we only accept a single kind of currency, Sardis gold. Second, all listings are to be sold as single items. If you see a number behind the listing, it's the quantity of this item that we have available. We use an auction system. Simply make a bid, and I'll tell you if you have a deal. Last but not least, here's our catalog this time. Please take your time to peruse it. How do you ensure fair prices when all the information is fed unilaterally from you under an auction system? Queen of Hearts blinks at Ludmilla. You make a reasonable offer, you get the corresponding item. That's absolutely fair. No wonder you dared to muddle through and didn't object even when I threatened to pull out. The black market really is all about exploitation. My shop is renowned for its quality products and good prices. Is this not what you bought at the Cold Express in the first place, Miss Ace of Spades? You're right. I have several doll friends who enjoy shopping here. They did get what they wanted, but I'm very curious. Why did they always end up spending all the money they had on hand? It happened every time. Every single time. They just so happened to have spent everything they had on them. That's the highest form of recognition we could receive. Those customers must have thought our goods were worth the money, because they were of the very best quality. That's why all our customers try to purchase as much as they can with the money they possess, as long as they think they are getting bang for the buck. Ludmilla caught the eyes Queen of Hearts, who was clearly wearing a disguise when 3 of Clubs speaks up. Extortion, whee! I can't find what I want here. She puts on the catalogue that she has barely read. Then why did you board the train? My shop's not a department store. Just the entry fee alone can already be quite prohibitive. I just checked your records. You did not pay for your entry in cash. Instead, you purchased your ticket by offering your body as a collateral. In that case, if you fail to make your payment within the specified time frame, you run the risk of having your body seized. I know, I'm obviously not here for fun. What I'm looking to buy is information about a person. It's not a physical item, but you can give me a quote. You don't have to worry about how I'm going to pay for it. Then what information are you looking for, Miss 3 of Clubs? Irma Hume. I want all the information you have on her. Hume? In another carriage on the Cold Express, Queen of Hearts is still the same Queen of Hearts, but the customer's a different one. Pavel tilts his head as he watches the view outside flash past the window. A playing card, the 7 of Clubs, is lying on the table in front of him. His shadow is cast in the ornate wall by the flickering candlelight. The wall is decorated by many famous paintings from the last century. The most eye-catching one is Girl with a Pearl Earring. Pavel has heard of it before. You're the manager of the Cold Express. Yes, Mr. 7 of Clubs. Would you like a drink? It may help soothe your nerves. Pavel stares at Queen of Hearts. After a brief silence, he picks up his glass and holds it to his face. Oh, Pavel's great. The liquor splashes all over his headlamp and trickles down his face. Am I supposed to drink like this? That's very humorous of you. There's a level 2 neuro space, you can do anything. Pavel watches as Queen of Hearts takes out a booklet from under the counter. It transforms into a hovering window the moment Pavel takes it. What are you hoping to buy? Without even the slightest hint of hesitation, Pavel quickly scrolls to the thing he's here for. This. He points at an item on the booklet window. Item. How surprising. I didn't expect a droid would be interested in this. That's none of your business. The starting price is 1.5 ounces. Right, yes, then I'm bidding 2 ounces. 1 second, please. Queen of Hearts picks up a shaker on the table. Her eyes glow blue. She wields a shaker with great skill. At least the moves look very flashy to Pavel, and it feels almost like a performance. Thunk. After performing a third flip, she finally returns the shaker to the counter and leisurely pours the clear liquor into a glass. I regret to inform you that this item appears to be quite sought after. Customer Jack of Diamonds has offered 2.5 ounces. Pavel looks down again at the item description on the catalogue. There's no mistake. This is the one. This thing can cure Elit. Oh no. Oh no. I know what this is. So, because I don't know, what is it? What's an Elit is the fact that the bombs that were used in World War III in this universe create a radiation that turns people into zombies over a certain, like Elits, not really zombies, but like essentially zombies. Yeah, there is a cure for it. Sort of. Here's the thing, Nitro, and this might be a spoiler, so, because it is from one of the previous events that you haven't played. So if you don't want a spoiler, I recommend you to tune out right now for like about 2 minutes. The problem about this cure is the way that it works. It can cure Elits, yes, by creating antibodies in your body. However, that is only if you can survive the cure. It is not so much a cure as to creating a person that can become the cure of humanity. It isn't there to heal you. It is there to kill everyone that can't survive Elit. So whatever Pavel wants it for, it's not gonna go well. It can cure Elit. 3 ounces. No problem. Just between you and me, your only competitor in this bidding war is Jack of Diamonds. It'll be fine. Queen of Diamonds waves her hand with a smile and the brilliant eyes lights up one more. Then, holding the glass, pauses in midair. The burning candle glows dim on the table. Oh my, I'm afraid I have bad news. The other customer also seems very determined. How much have they offered? 3.5 ounces. Steam engine lets out a whistle, but it doesn't little to break the awkwardness hanging in the air. Why don't you try your luck at some other items? Queen of Hearts asks Pavel tentatively. She blinks her keen eyes and observes Pavel carefully. 3.6, no, 3.8 ounces. Offer received. Queen of Hearts rises from her seat smilingly. With a twirl, she vanishes from the aisle. I know what she's doing, and it's extremely manipulative. Like, I know that this is written to be this way, but it's still extremely manipulative behavior. I am guessing that there is no Jack of Diamonds. She's just telling him there's somebody else willing to bid more. To raise his own bid. In this ultra-realistic carriage, her bizarre actions only serve to make Pavel more nervous. Compared to the actual dining carriage of the future, this couch is much more cramped and oppressive, but the dim lights and the heavy scent of old wood act like poison stimulating Pavel's nerves. He stares anxiously at the gas lamp before him. Each second seems to tick by more slowly. Tingling. Sorry for the waits. Just as Pavel is about to be completely overwhelmed by the claustrophobic atmosphere around him, Queen of Hearts reappears on the aisle with this bright sound of a set of ruffled wind chimes. She sits down in front of Pavel with a wistful smile. Well? Desperate to get the restlessness out of her system, Pavel asks about his bid hastily. I'm sorry, but they share your determination in obtaining this item. Queen of Hearts' blithe remark sucks all the strength out of Pavel. He slumps in his seat, defeated. Even his eye-like hat lamp grows dim. Can't be helped then. I give up. Pavel's voice is tinged with sorrow. Oh dear, you're breaking my heart. Fine, I'll take your offer. What? Pavel raises his head in shock at Queen of Hearts' proclamation. Queen of Hearts tosses a coin up in the air and snaps her fingers. She just rewinds time, my god. She is a bitch. Okay, that's how she knows what the fucking final offer is. Congratulations, Mr. 7 of Clubs. The other parties decided not to match your offer. 3.9 ounces, sold. It is a pleasure doing business with you. I'll pay immediately. Who do I give the money to? Kumi will get in touch about your payment and item delivery once you disembark. I understand. In the last carriage of the Cold Express, on board the Intercontinental Railway train Future. The train chugging along the metal tracks is the only sound that can be heard in the empty carriage. The flickering light of gas lamp illuminates the empty seats. A lone playing card lies quietly on the table next to it. It's a King of Hearts lying face down. All of a sudden, a figure materializes out of thin air. Maggie, you going with his look today? And 3.9 ounces of solid gold worth all the trouble? Data rollback on this scale is too much for your body to bear. You're lucky the guy was too creeped out to notice. Every single dime is worth the effort. And don't worry, with the modification I can handle this kind of data management. Have you found the target? I may be onto something, but I'm not 100% sure yet. I need more time. We're only 1 minute away from the 10 minutes that we agreed on. I'll try my best to stall for time. Carriage over 9, Intercontinental Railway train, Future. The melting ice knocks against the wall of the glass, producing a crisp sound. Catherine swirls a glass in boredom as she tilts her head to look at Maggie, who seems to be fast asleep with her head on the bar counter. After downing a ginger ale in one gulp, Catherine snaps her fingers, and the bartender immediately comes to refill a glass. I'm always just twiddling my thumbs in times like this. The communicator suddenly comes to life. Catherine takes the call out of reflex. Hello? Catherine, I knew you'd also be on the train. Ahem. How can I help you, Mr. Nikolai? Maggie is still on the Cold Express. I'll tell her that you called when she's back. The hunt has begun. You better finish up right now. I'll do what I can to slow her down, but you both know what bubbly your girl's like. Catherine's face pales immediately as painful memories resurface. She accidentally terminates the transmission. Why did I hang up? Catherine redarts in a panic, but Nikolai doesn't seem to be around to pick up on the other end. What the hell are you doing, your lordship? The flustered Catherine raises the communicator, smacks it with her hand, and shakes it left and right, trying to find the elusive signal. However, Catherine's hand twitches and drops the communicator. It hits Susanna, who has come to serve more food as it falls to the floor. Catherine, watch where you're going. Catherine leans down to pick up the communicator when she suddenly hears an extremely soft sound. It's so soft that she would have missed it if she hadn't been paying attention. Help! Susanna, did you hear that? Hear what? Confused, Susanna picks up her ears, but all she hears is pleasant music. I'm not hearing anything? Right at that moment, a loud noise comes from the adjacent carriage. It's loud enough to drown out the music in the dining carriage for a second, but Susanna and Catherine can hear it clearly. Good on for. Catherine's lips quiver as she looks toward the carriage where the sound came from. In the still peaceful dining carriage, she's the only one who has any idea about what is happening over there. The voice of the clone is about to start their hunts. Let's get moving, Daniel, and you lot follow me. So noisy. She hasn't actually had any time so far. Where's the granny? She's gone. Something broke. Hang on. There we go. The drawing thing is from the first card is buggy. This one? Or which one? Okay. Interesting. These people who just came into this carriage all of a sudden, I haven't seen them before. I don't think the passengers traveling first class. Hume, a familiar name that I didn't expect to come up here. Wait, no, that's a mission. Hang on. The suitcase is lying quietly on the luggage rack. Bought it. Bought it! Maggie, we're running out of time. Doesn't even have any information on me, Irma Hume. Guess the famous Colt Express isn't so special after all. Okay, even mobile games are bug-ridden, can't have shit in Detroit. There's a lot of problems with this game, but it's still a very good game. Two dolls appearing on the same carriage at the same time. The Colt Express has never experienced this kind of error before. Well. Toilet. I guess toilet time. In the restroom of carriage F09, dining carriage, Intercontinental Railway train, future. Also, hello ZX. Welcome. 10 minutes ago, an out-of-order sign has been hung on the restroom door. However, the restroom is occupied and not just by one person. A tall doll is currently holding a petite doll at gunpoint. Remove your disguise. Emma pulls off the hood of the head. I mean your false identity. Who are you? What is the motive for boarding the Colt Express? You just dragged me into the restroom. Now you ask me who I am? Are all minors so obnoxious these days? The Miller decides to skip the nonsense and hacks the doll directly. I can't hack you. It's really you. And who might that be? 3 of Clubs, are you still continuing the charade? Meanwhile, on board the Colt Express, the blurry figure sitting opposite Leah Miller suddenly leans over the table and grabs her. Let go of me. If you don't let go, I'll call the police. Miss? Miss of Clubs, please calm down. We genuinely have no transaction records concerning Irma Hume. That's not possible. The information I'm looking for has got to be here. Miss, being unreasonable isn't conducive to doing business. The Club seems to have suddenly calmed down. Meanwhile, back in the dining carriage restroom. With just a bit of force, Miller managed to detach one of Irma's arms. I've done as you said and stopped talking on the Colt Express. Can you give me back my arm? Why are you searching for Irma Hume? What is your relationship with Hume? You know Irma Hume? Hume is not a common surname. So, you don't know Irma Hume, but you know someone with the name Hume. Are you willing to trade this information? Miller is shocked silent for a second. The gun in front of us is pretty helpless. One of our arms has been attached, and Lumilla has a gun trained on her forehead. Other than a neurocloud, nothing about the doll seems particularly striking. Her physical strength is also inferior. Don't make me repeat my questions. I am a Hume. You don't seem to know me at all, so why are you so spooked? Spooked enough to pull a gun on me. Unless... you're also a Hume? And dolls with the surname are being targeted and killed, so you keep your surname a secret. Don't insult me. I'll tell you my motive. Lumilla tenses up immediately. But Emma remains completely still. She just keeps gazing at Lumilla, who is slightly aloof with golden eyes. With a slightly aloof golden eyes. Oh, the thick plottons. God damn it. That emulation can make it less buggy. Yeah. I believe Hume is the surname of my owner, or perhaps my mother. I've lost my memories and I need to find them. The only clue I have is the Cold Express. But you're also on the carriage. You know that there isn't any useful information to be found there. Should you believe her? Explanation makes sense. Hume is precisely the kind of scumbag that would do this. Morning star's fallen. Lumilla keeps eyeing the doll. Could just be a coincidence. Oh, she can't trust her. A neurocloud cannot be hacked. Even if it was just a coincidence, it could still be a trap. She must remain on her guard. A loud noise suddenly rings out from the adjacent carriage. Carriage of 9, yep, okay. The strange sound alarms the passengers. Susanna frowns and starts trying to soothe them. May I ask everyone to remain calm? I'm going to the next carriage to see. Before Susanna can finish, the door of the dining carriage gets pushed open. A man stumbles unsteadily into the carriage. Help! It's a robbery! Before his warning even registered, a bullet fired from the carriage behind him grazes him on the crown of his head. The bullet hits a bottle of Chateau Margaux on the bar counter. Dark red liquid flows like blood. Help! In the face of this, even the most obtuse can comprehend the terrible situation that they are in. Panic immediately breaks out among the passengers in the dining carriage. Everyone starts running in the opposite direction, trying to squeeze their way through. Just then, an explosion blows open the door between carriages 9 and 10. The massive impact sends the passengers squeezed against the door flying. The initial shouts of panic instantly turn into screams and wails. The crowd in the front huddles together, while those who couldn't get to the front reel about in all directions. The first to stride out of the smoke from the first to stride from the smoke of the explosion is none other than the burly man in carriage 2. The path has been cleared, Bubba. Thank you, Daniel. Following close behind him is a soft-spoken old woman on the wheelchair. Susanna gawks at the side of her. Miss Valeria? Susanna forces herself to calm down. After all, she suffered through such things before. Miss Valeria, you are a passenger on the first-class cabin. As the stewardess of this train, I will do my best to serve you. This isn't the first time this train has been robbed. Besides, Susanna is used to dealing with morally grey characters, so she knows her ways. Robbers are only after riches, so while her job is to safeguard the passenger's life, at least, that's what she thinks. However, the old woman simply looks at her calmly. You're wrong about two things, little girl. Susanna attempts that negotiation is only met with the dark muzzles of two guns. First of all, I mean business. The old woman's kindly features slowly contort. Second, you should call me Baba Yuga. Yuba. Oh, okay. I see. Everyone puts their hands up in the air as gaping muzzles sweep over them. With a thunderous bang, the crystal glasses on the back counter shatter and shards fly over the floor. That's a screenshot of this. I am sure you did. Although somebody's being held at gunpoint back there as well. Even Susanna, who has seen a fair share of things, can't help but let out a yelp. Meanwhile, the passengers who can't keep the terror in check let out another scream. However, this perfectly harmless reaction is enough to draw the ire of the burly thug named Daniel, who immediately trains his gun on them. As a vacuous black muzzle sweeps over them, the weeping men and women swallow their whimpers and wails. Fun fact, the target practice lets you fight against the bosses and death stacks of this event. Yeah, I'm not surprised. Dolls to carriage 10, humans to carriage 8. Leave all your jewelry on the tables and open your luggage. Once Susanna overcomes the initial shock, she suddenly comes to a horrifying realization. She looks up at the old woman before her and stutters incoherently. Baba Lyuba? The last of the Soviet Union's... The bodritized wine that you prepared was to my taste. You should know that what to do next, right? Susanna gulps and swallows the word she's about to say. She only speaks again after a moment of hesitation. The passengers manifests on the workroom. Very good. You're a clever girl. Valuba is marked as a lead certain death, I see. The fragile-looking granny seems to have undergone a complete change. Standing on the armrest of her own wheelchair, she pulls out a frightening gun in each hand and cackles. The ghastly laughter, so utterly discordant with the elegant background music, sounds almost like a dirge. Behind her, armed gangsters enter the room in an orderly fashion. Catherine, who has remained motionless ever since the Vori barged in, is cowering in front of the bar with her head lowered. Maggie, what should I do? Maggie remains slumped over the table, completely still. In the restroom, the carriage of F-19 dining carriage, Intercontinental, yeah. Upon hearing the deafening gunshot, the two dolls locked in a stalemate immediately exchanged looks. It's very noisy out there. Did something happen? That was a gunshot. Murder? I can't be sure. They're armed with quite a few shotguns. The models also varied. From what I've heard, it sounds like a Super Shorty and an M500. You're also armed. Are you with it? No. Then answer my questions about Hume. You've been coming at me since I mentioned the surname on the Cold Express. Why? I cannot tell you. Miller closes her eyes and concentrates on her hearing. There are a lot of armed hostiles out there. How did they manage to bring so many weapons on board? 7, 8... There are a total of 12 intruders, one of which is in a wheelchair. Miller recalls the old woman she saw in the carriage she was in earlier. I know who they are. Hmm? The last Vorivisa Conan in the neo-Soviet Union. They live of any kind of crime imaginable, which naturally includes robbery. Miller pauses. Also, they don't tend to leave survivors on their robberies. You could tell them so much just from listening. While Miller is deliberating, an unfamiliar comm signal suddenly contacts both of them. They glance at each other and take the call in unison. A familiar voice speaks through the channel. Hello, you two. Time is short, so I'm just gonna go ahead and ask. Which of you is the agent on a secret mission? Are both of you agents? I don't think either of them are. I don't have any money. Ladies and gentlemen, hand all over your money. Robbery? That's perfect. I spent all my money. I need to buy as much time as I can. I've got to say something. You look well, Babushka Lyuba. I did it again. Yep. Somebody just told me that it's buggy and I still clicked on it. Because I'm smart. Tied up. Lucas is still in the Danica. I hope he's okay. Let's start with Lyudmila. It would be nice to read that. I'll be honest. Oh, there we go. Queen of Spades, Three of Clubs, Gangsters. All these people appeared on this train at the same time. Could it be a coincidence? Yes, it actually is a coincidence. 5, Alpha 5, Moonlight Sonata. On a special operation in the Zerkov Special Administrative Regions, Neo-Soviet Union. It's nighttime. Stifling winds that carry a nauseating smell are blowing over the fields of Zerkov. An armored vehicle drives across the yellow sand, dyeing up the occasional tufts of weed brown with the dust that it kicks up. So I told that son of a bitch, you'd better screw right back to your reserve team and train another 2 or 3 years if you want to stand a chance against it all. We all comrades fighting for our motherland. You didn't have to be so harsh. Oh, please, I wouldn't have said that to actual warriors. Those losers only had fired the guns in a training facility. RPD is lying on top of the vehicle with a weapon cradled in our arms. Such demoralizing work. They leave all that to us, don't they? That said, enough chit-chat. We're getting close to our target destination. Ash, send the Hawk. An authoritative voice coming from inside the driver cabin interrupts the conversation. The doll who has been sitting wordlessly in a corner gets to her feet and takes the drone out of its case with practiced ease. What's your job again? According to reports, a mysterious religious sect that has been suddenly become all the rage in circus holed up in the village just ahead. Because of the earlier massacre, the brass has officially identified them as extremely dangerous entity. These scumbags. Ash 12-7 adjusts and confirms the drone's flight path through the visor, then launches the drone. RPD and PP-2000 also cease talking and huddle around the tablet to watch the camera feed. The vehicle grinds to a halt. Yulia, prepare to set a temporary camp here. Yes, ma'am. PP-2000 gets up and hops off the vehicle. Meanwhile, RPD and Ash 12-7 study the monitor with a frown. Why isn't there any movement at all? Ash 12-7 fiddles with the controls and switches the image to infrared mode. Still nothing. Hold on. Hey, Instructor, the village is completely deserted. She leans against the railing to speak to the two dolls busy in setting up shop outside the vehicle. PP-2000 has just pulled up the reflective cloth, while Instructor R is already sitting at the conference table. Ash, set up the equipment. Sergey. Yeah? Shut your mouth. Yes, ma'am. In a temporary camp on the field only 3 kilometers away from the target village, the soldiers' solemn faces are lit up by yellow light. By the sun-colored vehicle, the newly set up equipment starts running. The drone circled over the village several times. We haven't spotted any unusual activity. Maybe they've already moved somewhere else? With all the villagers? Well, the drone hasn't detected any human activity at all. But this is a village, not a military base. That alone is ominously unusual. Instructor R turns around and points at the map on the whiteboard with a cane. The village is encircled by a line of defense. The direction in which we came from is the only opening. They have nowhere to run unless they want to risk a direct confrontation with us. They're right here, and they knew we're coming. I don't know how to say that, let's ask. I'm just saying R. Also, let me drink something real quick. My mouth is fucking dry. Yeah, it's an option. I'll think about it. So what do we do? As per original plan, we enter the village. We search for the targets and eliminate them. If they have somehow given us the slip, we must still collect evidence that they've left behind. Yes, ma'am. Instructor R has a headset on. The comm system and the radar are both running at full capacity. The seconds tick as her nerves become more and more frayed and the headache grows in severity. But even so, she keeps running her computations. This is a special operations assigned to the Advanced Combat Team on the 7th Directorate of the Neo-Soviet Ministry of State Security. Following orders from a... Ooh, Jesus Christ. Thank you very much for the 25 months, Bakasura. Enjoy the emotes still. Surprised me a little bit, though. Following orders from headquarters, the elites of Team R have made for the front lines without any questions. God, no. As a field commander, she must take responsibility for the mission objective as well as her subordinates. But she cannot be on the front lines herself, which is probably why she is looking so grave right now. Sit up. We have entered the target area. No enemy units detected so far. It's the last letter in the alphabet, though, so maybe that's why it was Instructor Z. It's fine. There are bodies of civilians inside the buildings. We're still searching for survivors. I got that one natural. Damn it. Ash, inspect the bodies. There's something off about the wounds. That's... Yulia, what's the situation? Ma'am, we found some familiar-looking injuries on the bodies. These executed civilians were gunned down. The enemies were armed with a variety of hot weapons, but we can't determine the numbers. There's visible solidification on the bodies of the deceased. They were all Elite patients. Elite patients. Having come to some sort of realization, Instructor R lowers the altitude of a drone. The radiation readings at your location are unusually high. Be careful not to overload your air purifiers. Radiation levels are much higher than outside the village. Probably the handiwork of those cultists. Those cultists are almost certainly Paradairs. The instructor deliberates as her gaze remains fixed on the map on the table. Even though they aren't carrying much electronic equipment, she still has a complete bird's-eye view. It's all inside her head. A mysterious cult armed with hot weapons, inexplicably high levels of radiation, and massacred civilians. By the way, Nitro, can you guess what was happening here? Considering what I told you earlier, and considering that all of these were Elite patients. Yeah. Who could they be? What's their motive? Instructor R flips through the intelligence report by her side. All that's known about them is white seems to be their color. Paradise. Instructor, something feels really off here. Instructor, there's character stories after the main story. On the other end of the comms channel, PP2000 seems just as apprehensive. I'm reading those as a mindfuck. Probably... I don't know yet, because I'm not at those yet, but yeah. The trio stops to advance as she voices her concern. What do you mean? The situation is even more complex than what we've learned from the initial recon. Should we still proceed with the original plan? According to the command handbook, when information is lacking, advancing recklessly would be a big mistake. Prepare to withdraw. Hold on. What's the problem? Although the target area is indeed a lot larger than it was indicated in our intel, we can still carry on. I'm in tip-top form. I can keep exploring. Instructor, if we let them go this time, it'll be very difficult to catch them again. Instructor R weighs her choices for a little while. No. Under these circumstances, withdrawing is the safest choice. Understood. What was that? Just then, a strange noise suddenly comes through the comms channel. Instructor R looks down to check the channel with a frown. Comms interference. Get out of there right now! Yulia! Instructor R's furious cries rings over the deafening boom. We're under attack! Damn it, they're showing themselves. They're coming in everywhere I look. There's white. The Geiger counter starts blinking red and shrieking to warn them about a lethal amount of radiation. Calm down, follow our tactical plan and set up a defensive position. Surrounded, the firepower far surpasses what was indicated in the intel report. The hell? It's really just a cult? I'd believe you if you told me they're the military. Instructor R's heart sinks. Calculating our escape routes. We should make a break for it in the northwest right now. But that's the direction from which the enemy is attacking you. How did you come to that conclusion? Backing on the hypothesis that such firepower cannot be sustained perpetually, an opening will probably come up soon. That's way too risky. We're in defensive formation. Incoming fire from the east, west, and southwest. We're trapped. Dr. R takes a deep breath as she desperately tries to remain calm. Don't panic. We're the ones going after them here. Prepare to make a stand. They'll call upon the attack sooner or later. But Instructor R can tell from the silence of her subordinates just how dire the situation is. I think she's got to think. There must be something. What? What was that? Report. Fire is being exchanged in the northwest. There's now an opening in the enemy's attack. A signal beacon. We've got friendlies. A burst of static suddenly comes through the comms channel. Hey! It's Angie! Team Defies on the scene. Keep calm, reinforcements are in position. Keep fighting, don't lose your cool. An unfamiliar but assertive female voice suddenly interrupts the conversation. Following her appearance, the exchange of fire grows even more intense on the front lines. Who are you? I'm Agilia, commander of the Wolfpack. Okay, she changed the name of the pack. Listen, there's only one character that has this kind of outfit. That was all I needed to see to know exactly who it is. I'm not taking command over here, Team R. Execute defensive formation 13 and stand your ground. Reinforcements will get to you very soon. Roger that. Let's go. Let's go. This is the person that we're trying to rescue. I've been trying to rescue for the past, like, 5 events. Or maybe like 3. You're the instructor of Team R, yeah? I'll be taking command of the team from now on. Actually, the code I clued you in. Basically everything you could see. Please show your authorizations. This is an order. You committed a grave error as the field commander. Okay. Help the Wolfpack find and crack the passcode panel. Wolfpack's... okay. Alright. I don't know what enemies are awaiting me here. It's the main thing. How many squads can I spawn? 1. Okay, that's fine. I just don't know whether or not I spawned the correct type of squad. But knowing how these things like dying right now, I think I did. Maybe RPK is actually there. Oh, yeah, she sure is. This sure is the past, isn't it? The event has a point map that you can restart from the menu. I am very glad that you're on wait. For a moment I thought it was over. You know what, I'm just gonna turn it on for the lols. Death stack. It didn't... okay, even if it wasn't a death stack, even if it was just a normal unit, I am very glad that I don't have to fight those fucking Ulans anymore. I know that you don't know them, Nitro, but I do, and I hate them. Yes, yes. I should have actually set you to. Oh, you are under my direct control. I didn't realize that. I thought it was like, you know, the... Yeah. The thing is, you don't want to fight with these too often because they don't have attack. A lot of NPCs these days are controllable. Oh, yeah, I know. The thing is just I didn't realize because a lot of them are also not. So... The question that I'm having right now is, do we get a second bomb? If we don't, I need to carry this one all the way over there. If we do, I can blow this guy up. I think I'm going to risk blowing this guy up. Basically just to see what happens. I have shields too, motherfuckers. But yeah, ZX, I have actually been, like, I was a player from the very beginning of the game. You only get one bomb, you have options though. Let's see. I want to throw this bomb at the Zulon. Oh, the death stack. Let's see. Imagine I'm just getting it manually. I am pretty sure some fucking mad lad will have done it. I've been with this game for long enough to know that. Like, yeah, I've taken a break, like, that was, like, about a year long last year. But again... Force Shield Hobiavaki. I do actually have Architects. Funnily enough. Wait, why did I move? Is this the passcode terminal that I need? Oh, okay. I wasted a move. Player phase KCCO. On these guys, the question really is right now. I might have fucked it. It could be a... It could be fine. It could also not be fine. Because this is an 82k, and the buffer is a big bonus to the firepower. Am I fucked? Am I though? Am I really? I mean, maybe I am. The music's dead. So, yeah. When is this scenario happening in the timeline? That's the good question here. Getty Gourmet Willard's my favorite. I don't know when this scenario is happening in the timeline. That is what I'm trying to discern myself right now. It has to be before the commander meets Angie, right? So, before, fuck, I forgot the name of the event. It's my favorite event, too. It is a flashback, I understand. God damn it. Hang on. Give me one moment. I'll continue this battle in a moment. I now need to figure out what this is called. Give me a second. Because I know exactly what event it is that it happens in. Campaign... It needs to be before... Singularity. Because Singularity is the very first time that you meet Angie. Let me just quickly give you a Shadow Classic. How did Ultimate go in Final Fantasy? You hate disjointed timelines? The timeline is not disjointed. The thing is that we have a flashback right now in this bit of combat. And that is just what we're trying to figure out what it has to be. Sig is also the first time Angie appeared in the story timeline. That's exactly what I mean. Like, it has to be before the commander meets, or before we get to see Angie, right? But Nitro, that already happened. Did I just accidentally close the gate on them? Considering Paradise is already sighted. Yeah, that's also fair. That's also a fair point. That is a fair point you're making there. I need to go back to the other terminal, don't I? Ooh, fucking... I saw the robot standing on that panel and I don't like it. You did the... Oops. Oh, that's a problem. That is a fairly big problem. That is a fairly big problem. I need to run this squad all the way back to base. I took too long to finish the mission. Hello there. I should have opened that on the way back. Because that enemy is not on weight. And neither is that one. You'll make it? Probably. Maybe. Things I still need to run all the way back to base and resupply. That is the problem I have right now. Because if this squad dies, we're screwed. 1, 2, 3, yeah, okay, we're fine. Yeah, string isn't important because after this fog it'll open up the farm map. Yeah, that's fair. Also, I could have made this map significantly easier by just not playing the hard mode. To be fair, I think for story playthrough, I'll go through with the movement. I think you can gate jam that doppel if you want to. Not if that's necessary. I don't think you can because I can only activate the gate once. Unfortunately. Let me just make you the main tank instead. Bonk. Man, 416 fucks up. 416 really fucks up small groups. Does it? Doesn't really matter. Don't have the movement points. But it's only 20k, it shouldn't be too bad. I mean, this one didn't just now, so yeah, it's fine. Should be fine. Now, it is a double ultimate, so it could be annoying. Never mind. Their shields were basically not there. Man, am I glad that these are not the ones that fucking jump scare you at the start. It's fine if you could technically scrape UX with this. Another question is, I need to get this squad over there, right? So let me just move Wolfpack squad. No, come on. Right, done. There's no enemies left, which is very good. And move over here. Very good. A rank because we took too long. Pretty good. And victory. Yeah. But yeah, I'm probably gonna go back down to normals for just playing through the story and then do the hard versions on my own. Because it's just faster. And I am already quite limited on stream time. On a special operation in a circle special administrative region near Soviet Union. Also, to my guessing as to why I'm saying that this has to be before we meet Angie. While, yes, the fact that Paradise is already known is a thing, at the same time, afterwards, Angie didn't really have time because right after Singularity, there's like a whole bunch of things that lead to current events and other current stuff and other events where there's just basically no time for her to be doing another mission in an area, suffering in UX's content. The problem is just I don't have time for them, at least on stream, because yeah, it's pain. Full-time work and stuff, you know. I could maybe if I was a full-time streamer, but I'm not. I don't get enough money from this doing that. For doing that. So yeah. So this is the fabled wolf pack. Instructor R watches them on a monitor with raised eyebrows. The movements are orderly, efficient, and practically flawless. In just a matter of minutes, they've easily captured the area where Team R have not been able to penetrate. They're almost like... The entrance flap of the command tent is suddenly pulled open. Instructor R immediately reaches for a gun on the table out of reflex. Captain Angelia. Several dolls follow Angelia into the tent. The two dolls in the leads are carrying the injured members of Team R. They deposit them safely on the ground inside the tent. Sorry, Instructor. Ugh. Contact HQ to call in a chopper. Tell them to transport these injured dolls back to base and send someone to take over. You look like you've got something to say? I would like to know what the grave error I have committed as a field commander. You still haven't figured that out? Yeah, Classic has actually said that. Asuka said that a moment ago. Yes, apparently. But now I'm used to saying it. Please enlighten me. I've been giving orders to, according to the training that I've received. I gave the order to withdraw as instructed by the command handbook. Judging by the result, it was a sound decision. Why didn't you go with the subordinate's recommendation? The risk were too great. There. That's your grave error. Your judgment is too by the book. After making sure that the injured doll is alright, Angelia nods and turns to leave. Before she exits the tent, she pauses and looks back at Instructor R. All the real commanders are forged in the fire of the front lines. Tactical handbooks are only just a summation of the past experiences. She glances at the three battered dolls. If you keep doing what you did, you're gonna lose a lot more teammates. You could try. Instructor R clenches the fists. She watches as Angelia's figure disappears from her view. Her retorts stuck in the back of her throat. The helicopter carrying the injured members of Team R slowly takes off. Instructor R remains rooted in the spot at the exact point, watching in silence as the helicopter slowly recedes into the distance. Don't let that get to you. Just then, a voice suddenly speaks up behind her. AK-12. My boss has never been one to mince words. I hope you don't take offense. She's always like that, always demanding too much from everyone, human or all. She was right. The others can't be blamed for not expecting that to happen. But I have no such excuse. It was indeed a grave error on my part as a commander. There's no harm in accumulating more experience on the front lines for dolls like you. Pale doll gave Instructor R a pat on the shoulder. I look forward to seeing you again. Best of luck. With that, AK-12 turns and walks away. Instructor R remains where she is, mulling over AK-12's words. Experience on the front lines. Someday, I will fight on the front lines. Silence fills the entire toilet cubicle. Then I'll do as you say. Right. The two dolls exchange a long look and nod at each other. Then Irma follows Miller's instruction and climbs up with great agility. Her movements are so neat that she disappears in the blink of an eye, leaving only Miller in a narrow space, and a sudden burst of commotion outside the door. Suddenly remember something, Instructor R. You once asked me, Luke Miller, why are you so obsessed with fighting on the front lines? You may not remember, but I do, very clearly. All real commanders are forged in the fire of the front lines. I have always remembered. Always. And now I am on the front lines. After making sure that Irma has made a smooth exit, Luke Miller takes a deep breath. Then she walks up to the cubicle door and opens it with great determination. She runs straight into a burly man the moment she's out. Have a good night, Bakasura. Please, take a rest, alright? He's aiming an M500 right at Luke Miller's face. Luke Miller recognizes this man. He was in the first-class carriage. The man gazed at her with narrowed eyes. T-Doll? You're the retired military instructor in the first-class carriage. Daniel watches Luke Miller with distrust, his grip tightening on this gun. You're alone. There's no one else with you. It would seem so. Tried to rest, but to no avail for the last 8 or 9 days or so. Seriously, if you need to, go to a doctor and get some, like, help and stuff, because not sleeping is extremely unhealthy. The man has been checking the surroundings even as he questions her. Throughout the conversation, he has been keeping a safe distance away from Luke Miller, and his gun has never once wavered. You must be armed, aren't you? Hand over your weapon. Don't play any tricks. Keeping her hands completely visible, Luke Miller removes a pistol from her holster and hands it over to Daniel with the muzzle pointed at herself. Put it on the floor and kick it over to me. Alright. Daniel promptly picks up the pistol and rises back to his full height in the same second, his gun still trained on Luke Miller. He starts the confiscated pistol away, then tells Luke Miller to put her arms in the air and searches her. After a very thorough pat down, he's finally set offside. Move. We're leaving the restroom. You go first. Screaming children, fireworks, and all the stress factors won't let me. It's not great. The Miller walks out of the restroom. These people have seized complete control over the dining carriage. Several humans held at gunpoint and are kneeling to the floor, to one side with their hands in the air. The hostages seem to be safe for the moment. Everyone is accounted for. A total of 6 warriors guarding them, 2 of which are armed. On the other side are the dolls with the constant movement modules removed. They are also being held hostage by a few retired military droids. 4 of them, all obsolete and decommissioned. It looks like they've got sold on the black market. In principle, the fire control car should have been removed, and yet they're all armed, so better not count on that. Take care, Bakasura. Really, take care of yourself, alright? Seriously. Miller's gaze falls on an old woman. She has seen her in the first-class carriage earlier. Right now, she is sitting on the most prominent seat, surrounded by the other gangsters. Miller's eyes narrowed. This is Pavel Yuba. Don't get any silly ideas, Madam Instructor. It's best to be cooperative. We're just here to procure some goods. Surely you won't do anything stupid. Daniel pushes Miller over to the tied-up dolls by the window and forces her to sit down. She turns her head to look at the young man standing on the other side. Unlike his lethal companions, he has a rather dour look on his face. Nikolai scoffed at Daniel's cautious movements. Do you have to be so careful at handling a woman? You make a show of every little thing, don't you? You do, don't you? A gentle reminder that this is a T-doll. Cuppa, I'm reporting this to Baba. You giving me orders now? Could you please help me Cuppa, Mr. Nikolai? Nikolai takes the handcuffs reluctantly. He glows bitterly at Donald's back as he walks towards Baba Lyuba. How dare you talk to me like that? He's treating me as though a doll. Nikolai now redirects his anger at Ludmilla. T-doll, what's the big deal? You don't even have a fully bionic skin. Ludmilla's intense gaze only further fuels Nikolai's irrational rage. Stay still! With a flick of his wrist, Nikolai slaps a metal cuffs around Ludmilla's wrists roughly, and is just about to engage the locking mechanism. You know, you should really listen to him. Should or should've? Bunk. Oh. It all happens in the blink of an eye. With a thrust of her arm, Ludmilla draws blood by bashing a metal cuffs into the back of Nikolai's head. As Nikolai cries out in pain, she wraps the chain tightly around his neck and starts strangling him. The bulging veins form a web on his neck. His face turns an angry red, even his eyes become bloodshot. The Vori have all raised their weapons, but no one dares to pull the trigger, because Ludmilla is completely obscured behind Nikolai. With a shotgun on a wheelchair. 2 shotguns, but yes. Lyuba's features darken as she takes in the scene. Gazing at Ludmilla, she speaks in a sinister whisper. Let him go. Don't shoot. Nikolai squeezes out these words with great difficulty as he looks fearfully at his companions. Lyuba watches as Ludmilla slowly backs away using Nikolai as a shield. Her eyes gleam ruthlessly. Once a thug, always a thug, no matter the age, I guess. Yeah. She wipes away a non-existent tear from her right eye with a finger. Fire. The old woman's soft command is completely drowned out by Nikolai's pitiful howls. However, all the Vori pulled the trigger on Lyuba's command. Just then, Ludmilla takes off her handcuffs and shoves Nikolai away. The hail of bullets hits the lake of the cabinet, the walls, and the ceiling. Nikolai rolls quickly across the floor and somehow remains completely unscathed. Without making any superfluous movements, Ludmilla dashes towards the carriage past the bar counter. After her! Lyuba gives the order through gritted teeth as she glares at Ludmilla's receding figure. That is one hell of a slap squad balancing on... balancing my head. Yeah. She's right, I'm the one on the front lines. Oh wait. This time I'm the one on the front lines. Hello? Right, going back to easy mode real quick. Stradivarius something. So what do we have here? What is our goal and what do we do? That's some spicy boys right there. Despite this being uneasy. We need to go to this point, don't we? Yeah, we need to just leave. Let me just quickly one-click repair you. There we go. This map is super easy. The middle part of the carriage is patrolled by numerous powerful enemies, making it hard to get through. Maybe a better idea to target the security guard on the side instead. Let's see. To be fair, I have a hiccup. That's not great. I'm just going to quickly capture that heliport there. One combat though. Yeah, but it's fine. I see what we need to do here. I could just dash through right now. Like, 1, 2, 3. Wait, no, that doesn't lead anywhere. That's a trap. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, 4. This map is almost literally the same as UX. And the weak enemy is still weak. Well. Bye, I guess? Brut. And they're all dead. This map is easy as fuck. Yeah. Yeah, it is. Especially because if they're all on patrol, they're gonna be on a set course. So they're not gonna change from attempt to attempt. Right? Unless, of course, they don't move sometimes. Well, bye. Have a great time. That was quick. But yeah, I'm gonna be entirely honest. While I have been playing this game literally from day one, and I have proof for that. Like, my proof is of that right there, the UID down there. Literally day one. Even the closed beta. Yeah. Turn to F2 immediately and retrieve my weapon. I see. I broke it. Did I break it? I broke it. I just had to click that damn button. I just had to. Okay, this is still saying the same thing. Mine's only 5 digits. Mine's 4. Almost 3. I am very sad that I didn't make it to below the 1000, but it's 1034, so yeah. So 2 weeks after server launch? Yeah. I'm so close. Actually, I think I want to do this one last. The cannery. Inside the... yeah, okay. Which of you is the agent on a secret mission? Are you both agents? The Miller starts up the jammer without saying a word, and the restroom immediately becomes a no-service zone. An agent? I'm not an agent. Are you? Numilla ignores Irma's question. I know what a cannery is. I also know what they were used for in mining. I don't know if it has anything to do with this, but, you know. It is... if it's just a matter of memory loss, then it won't affect your survival. Get off when you reach a stop and never get back on this train again. The Colt Express especially. The black market is not simple as you might think. Given your background, you must be letting your... she must be letting you on board for some ulterior motive. My memory loss does affect my survival. This isn't the first time I've lost my memories. I keep losing them repeatedly. No technician can fix my issues, and if I want to live on as my whole self, I need to solve my memory problems. Your whole self? Yeah, that definitely sounds like the kind of crap that Hume would have done. You know, Mama? Yumina stops aiming a gun at Irma and reattaches her arm. Don't mention anything about Dr. Hume to anyone. Not even a word. The next person you face might not be as good-tempered as me. So you are a Soviet agent? Then you believe what I'm saying? You might have misunderstood something. I have no need to believe you. Yumina takes a pistol out from under her coat and loads a magazine. I'm on some very urgent business here. You better find a place to hide. Emma bites her lip and thinks for a bit. And what will you do if I listen to you and hide? I need to head back to my carriage. You're going to go through those people outside? Yes. Oh, wait, it's too risky. That isn't something you should be worried about. Of course I'm worried about you. Who will I ask about Dr. Hume if you're gone? You forbade me from asking other people, so I can only turn to you. Which carriage are you in? I'm coming with you. Have you been fitted with a fire control car? I will go silent for a few seconds. I can't be sure. The middle peels a glove and takes Emma's hand. By the time Emma comes to her senses, she's returned to an own neurocloud. When did I... The summer garden has a door that wasn't there before. Emma walks toward that unfamiliar door. If she hadn't gone over deliberately, she might not have noticed that unassuming door. She places her hand on its cool metal handle, then works up a courage and presses down. The door opens to reveal a filthy, messy street. It looks a bit like a street that Emma has passed through while visiting the black market, but it isn't the same one. The signs on the streets are the signs on the sides of the street are murky, and you can't make out the letters. What is this place? Emma's standing in the middle of the narrow road, holding something warm and soft in her right hand. Someone's holding her hand, and she can feel the other person's racing heartbeat through her palm. What's wrong? I'm just feeling a little weak. They pant and wipe away the sweat beading on the forehead, as though they had just finished some intense exercise. The sound of running footsteps, belonging to around 7 or 8 people, is heading their way. Shh. Why do we have to run? A warm hand takes hers and they start running again. They pass through the oppressively narrow alleys and avoid angry shouts. Through it all, Emma maintains a grip on the other person's hands, and no matter what obstacles lie ahead, for just a moment she wishes they could keep running like this forever. Emma, take this. The other person shoulders her around the corner, and place of that warm hand is a cold metal object. What is this? It's an ability you once had. Load module. Disable fire control core inhibitor. So she does have a fire control. Interesting. Robbery? Oh yeah, okay, no, that's the same thing. And 5,6, Hour of Grief. To be fair, she is a submachine gun that we can get, so, you know. Now, if that isn't certain death, I don't know what is. 19,537,024. Damn. Jesus Christ. Oh, wait, no, wrong button. Wrong button. EMP. It's fine. Oh, a machine pistol. Yes, yes. Okay, I need to move Irma. Acceleration towards ground, passing enemy units a bonus AP buff. The thing is... Where are you loaded? The whole map? It's probably the whole map. Yep. Discard the dummy? What? Wait, what? 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 That makes the scorpions weaker. Yeah, but not only the scorpions, unfortunately. Actually, how many moves do you have? Only one? That would be good. Essentially extendable bait. I see. One currently, yes. Yeah. Things I don't think it'll stay at one. From what it says, this thing is gonna get it 1 extra. That's a big nerf to that thing, damn. $10,000, it's fine. It's not that strong. Fuck you, Archers. I know, Nitro, don't worry about it. Because I'm 90% sure that Irma would not make it through here without a squad covering for her. But there might be a way. I don't know. So, it's still gonna be 1 move this turn, I think. But it's gonna be 2 afterwards. Oh no, wait, it's still 2. It's already 2 here. Now the question is, does that buff stay? $3K at this point looking strong enough. Clearly. I can't move you, I see. So with you 2 moves, you should not be able to reach me. If it's actually 2 moves. Since I can't move those, should be fine. We just end turn here? Question mark? Plop plop. Yes. Actually, does it just stay at 1 movement now? Does it only get 1 move? Because if that's the case, then it's really easy in terms of missions. Brut. Everything's dead. The German squad plus the Croatian handgun have done well again. Mission success. Very good. Very good, very good. Coral Fantasy. The dangerous footsteps slowly fade away in the noisy alley. A martles around the corner, nervously watching as her last dummy signal vanishes. Dark red blood seeps through the white sleeve. Harm probably got scratched in the melee just now. Your name is also the name of this gun. Irma machine pistola. Irma. Irma reaches out to the other person, but she's drawn into a dark red world. Inside the restroom carriage, F09, yeah, okay. The hand that is holding Irma's feels as familiar as the weapon in her memory. Giving you bullets would be a waste. Just stuck into the event. Irma ignores her. She holds into Yulmila's hand, and her own image overlaps with the figure in the alley. The cold sensation of the firearm, the snowflakes, the door handle, and the cooled coffee all blend together. Irma's memory fragments race through her mind. On an inexplicable impulse, Irma decides to take a peek inside Yulmila's neurocloud, to see if she has the same memories as her. What the hell are you doing? Yulmila does not hesitate and immediately puts Irma into an arm lock. Emma doesn't know what Luke Miller did, but she realizes that her vocal module is no longer functional. In addition, it seems Luke Miller has also shut down a general-purpose comms channel. All that's left is a channel that she's never used before. Emma's neurocloud automatically generates an adaptation call in response to this inactive channel. 63R180. For the first time, there's a look of shock on Luke Miller's cold face. So you're Instructor R. You're like me. Your mother's child. I have a room in my neuro cloud that contains records of all of Hume's children. I'm the first, and you are the 63rd. Someone bangs heavily on the restroom door. We don't have time for this nonsense. Luke Miller shoves Irma into the air vent. Irma's hand refuses to let go of Luke Miller's. Your carriage number. We're not finished yet. FO2. I can use weapons now. Wee. Torna Surientio. Emma follows Luke Miller's instruction and climbs to the roof of the train. I'm here. What now? You see the turret on the top of the train? It's incredibly powerful. Not even a tactical doll can take more than a few shots from one of these. Then what should I do? There's a control terminal up ahead, not far from you. You can shut down the turret. You can weave through the fields of fire that way. Alright, I'll give it a try. Yellow icons will appear on the ground before the cannon fires. Make sure you dodge in time. Got it. See you in FO2. Let's see. That's a lot of autocannons. Sure, why not just repair this? For a minuscule cost. Ah yes, I definitely need to shut these down. That is a lot of automatic fire. Also, the explanation on how this works. Yeah, they just kind of expect you to know it from the last event, which is not great. Because I know how it works, because I played the last event. But not everyone does. Okay. Dum, 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 dum. I was expecting to commit ENS turret. Yeah, I mean, it kind of seems to work like that to an extent. Do I just attack this now? Like, what? Like, I'm expecting that symbol to mean that I can't move through there without getting shot. Because it's the same symbol. Dum, dum, dum. We're being followed. Is that what it does? No. It is not. So this turret stays disabled. So you have a sort of safe path through here. Thanks to the disabling of the turrets. You can kind of tell what turrets will stay disabled for a while. That was a grease gun. But it's completely doable. Also, just notice the combat here is the same as Singu train nodes. To be fair, a lot of stuff from Singularity onwards has been kind of not only reused, but been revisited. Din, 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 din. Which is entirely fair. Like, it really feels like everything before a certain point of the story really is just there to set everything up, to have the world. And everything after is just unfolding the main story. And there's so much. Dum, 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 dum. Ah yes, a C96. Not exactly useful. So that's the last bit of story that I get on you right now. So next up, we go to the really interesting one. What is going on with you now? First of all, we're gonna shuffle some stuff. Yes, I immediately went and modded Car 98, however I noticed a problem about it. I have one problem with modding Car 98. I don't have enough. Like, not even close. Pain. Suffering. Work on it. Well, I started today working on it, because today is when I modded basically. So I didn't do it immediately, but, you know. Any mod story that's still unclaimed fragments? A lot. Basically almost all of them. Because I haven't really had time to go through them. I might do that on stream at some point, because I'm going through the story anyway, right? At a safe house in Moscow. After going through several buckets of concrete dissolver, Maggie finally managed to get Catherine out of the drum. My skin feels like sandpaper. Be glad that you got out in one piece. Couldn't you have gotten some better dissolver, you miser? Huh, I bought it with your money, though. I thought you'd appreciate my thriftiness. Oh yeah, my money. Give it back. Huh? But you attached such a heartfelt message to the transfer. Farewell, my dear Maggie. Shut up! I thought I was going to die back there. After pummeling Maggie for a bit, Catherine gives herself a healthy dose of machine oil. After that, she lounges in satisfaction on the sofa. Hey, so, what's the job? I don't know yet. You accepted it without even knowing what it was. It's not going to be easy, that's for sure. The client was willing to save us from the Dvori just because we accepted the job. I'm pretty sure our client isn't going to let us rip them off just like that. I get the feeling we'll have to pay it back soon enough. Relax, we've always managed to make it into Noah's Ark in the past. It won't be different this time. That's true. So when do we start working on the job? Right now. Ah, so how should we begin? We'll know tomorrow. So far, our client has only given us a name for the job, Casino Royale, and an anonymous call. Click. Mega replaced the untraceable call. I would like to know what that says. However, I can't read Cyrillic. Ask, please. I need your help. Please ask, if you're still here. Tell me the name. Because I have the feeling that knowing the name will actually tell us a lot of things about this. But at the same time, I can't read it. Your interview will be at 9 AM tomorrow at the following coordinates. It really is untraceable. We haven't come up against someone like this in a long time. Anyone who can take care of the body that easily is definitely no pushover. Good grief, out of the frying pan and into the fire. No, it's more like driving a tiger to devour a wolf. Still, we're not entirely without clues. Oh, okay. Oh, no! You're so screwed. Ah, that's bad. Well, I don't need to know what it means now anymore, because I do know now. Still, we're not entirely without clues. That means grey in Russian. Yeah, I don't like that. That's one of the leaders of Paradise, and I don't like that. Grey. I guess there must be some other meaning behind that word, so we need to peel it back layer by layer. Reminds me of old times, though the people we dealt with weren't nearly as troublesome as what we have on our hands right now. Several days later at the Flora Institute in Bremen. Yeah, I wonder why that's suddenly relevant. Maggie arrives at a big building in the middle of the city, in keeping with the place and time on the invitation. She is guided to a waiting area by a receptionist. What is this here? No. On the receptionist, once the receptionist leaves, Maggie is left alone in the lavishly decorated waiting lounge. Maggie notes that some of the signboards read Galatea, but further search proves inconclusive. Miss Maggie? A door opens and a woman in a white uniform beckons at Maggie. This way, please. Well, aren't you just looking suspicious? Led by the woman in white, Maggie enters an office and takes a seat on a cushy sofa. The woman doesn't wait for Maggie to settle in before she begins. Let's begin the interview, then. Alright. Name? Maggie Ponzi. Job? Social engineer. I hear the woman who became part of the street art. I am not entirely sure what you're referring to right now. The person aloofly notes down Maggie's information. In exchange, tell me who you are? I am the client from Casino Royale. I called you before, and now you must pass on my test before I give you the assignment. Understood. Let's begin then. The test has already started. Miss Maggie, use any means to convince me to hand the assignment to you. Any means? Yes. Before I begin, please clarify one thing for me. Only the client can decide if I'll get the assignment, right? Correct. So there's no way I can pass this test. Why do you say that? Because you're not the client. Are you trying to gain the assignment by angering me? How rude. I have no intention of taking you lightly, Miss Leon. It was easy enough to learn your true identity by analyzing your voice print and verifying it with your appearance. Incidentally, the annual report you published for the Flora Institute last year was quite interesting. Still, while this may cause some offense, I do not think you are qualified to be a mysterious client. After all, our amazing client helped me resolve quite a sticky problem yesterday. Huh? Judging by how you are hiding your name tag, did you think I read all this information off of it? That would show a tremendous lack of craft, and it isn't in keeping with the tone of your company. Very well. After recovering from a shock, Leon slowly leans back and the calm returns to her face. In that case... A round of applause reaches her ears, and the power within the room briefly cuts out. By the time Maggie acclimates to the darkness, Leon is gone. In its place is a three-dimensional hologram that glows in the dark. Greetings, Miss Maggie. Miss Gray, I presume? Aren't you going to use the same trick on me? Analyze my voice print and use my appearance to verify my identity? Nah, I doubt it'll work on you anyway. Or rather, the Miss Gray I'd find wouldn't be the real you. I like intelligent people who know their limits, Miss Maggie. Miss Maggie Ponzi. Or should I say, Miss Maggie Ponzi's doll assistant. The finger Maggie is lightly tapping on the sofa freezes. Don't worry, your background is to your advantage. At first, I had my doubts about the deception skill of a doll, but after learning you were one of the dolls working for the Fox Sisterhood, I began looking forward to your performance. I thought nobody remembered the Fox Sisterhood anymore. Humans have forgotten too many things that they should not have. I heard they vanished after World War III. Do you think I'd get to meet someone from that organization today? No wonder you agreed to rescue Catherine so readily. I've always been generous to people of worth. So what else is there, other than my background as part of the Fox Sisterhood? What is it about us that you find worthwhile? I can always rest easy when speaking with intelligent people. Miss Gray rises slowly and steps away from the camera before returning shortly afterwards with a cup of coffee. That would be the Project Tequila you're helming. Or let's be frank here, would it be better to call it the Tequila Scam? That's why the Void chased you all over the city, isn't it? Oh dear, we've been found out. Maggie chuckles and makes a show of leaning back against the sofa and crossing one leg over the other. I have to admit, the idea of the scam does fascinate me. Although Ponzi schemes are relatively old ruse, you made the flower again, Miss Maggie. You flatter me, but that particular project has been wrapped up. If you're interested, I could rehash that idea and... No, I want this project. Please elaborate. The subject keeps shifting beyond her expectations. Maggie can't help but sit up straight again. With the frequent outbreaks of wars, a well-known scientist hides behind the scenes, using the power of relics to develop dirty bombs. The reason why Project Tequila is a scam is because none of that is true. But I can make it come true. Maggie ponders Gray's words. Just the funds and resources needed to make that scam come true is enough to send a chill down her spine. You're going to such great lengths just to make a shell company legit. This is only the beginning. From now on, there will be no tequila manufacturing, only a subsidiary of the Galatea Corporation. Galatea. So you are interested in the list of investors for Project Tequila? That is only the first step of the assignment. Let me guess. Here comes the important part of the job. Miss Gray smiles. A hitherto dormant screen lights up in front of Maggie. On this the entire Eurasian landmass. Apart from the national borders, the only thing that displays is a legend showing regions of elite contamination intensity. The map is covered in red, yellow and green, with the occasional bit of black speckled in it. I have a bad feeling about this. Like, let's be honest. Anything that Miss Gray is involved with should give you a bad feeling. She is using the Tequila Express, or the Cold Express, to further spread the quote-unquote Elid cure. That was covered in red, yellow, and green, with the occasional bit of black speckled on it. That's the red, yellow, green, and black zones. Before 2030, this war was tightly linked. Indeed, the Balin Island incident changed everything. After that, mankind split into two factions, those who supported the reunification of the world, and those who opposed it and wanted to preserve the status quo. Humanity loves to argue, and where there's an argument you have people taking sides. Well said. However, taking sides is a privilege of those in power. Most people, like myself for example, simply wish to make the biggest profit we can. You are a shrewd businesswoman. A point of light travels from one end of the continent to the other, a meandering line that penetrates all of Eurasia. The contaminated zones on its way do not hinder it in the least. And now a great profit lies before us. The Siberian Lifeline is reopening, and I need an agent. You mean the Intercontinental Railway is starting up again? Yes. The Intercontinental Railway that spans all of Eurasia, passes through the contaminated zones and connects Germany to Russia. What a grand miracle. So, what do you need me to do in this massive engineering project? I need another miracle. Miss Grey smiles dangerously. A miracle on par with the Intercontinental Railway, but for dolls. At night, in a Bremen safe house. Maggie? Maggie is seated on the floor with her back against the main door and gives no response. After a while, she looks up at Catherine. You're looking all serious. This is one hell of a job we're taking on. But it doesn't look like we're in any position to refuse. We've been caught up in it. There's no way for us to back out. Although, there's no way back for us. Catherine walks over to Maggie and sits down with her in front of the door. If we're still alive after we finish this job, let's look for a quiet place with great scenery and hide out there for a bit. Sure. How much longer until then? Several months, if it goes quickly. Several years if it doesn't. We'll survive, no matter how long it takes. Catherine and Maggie lean against each other on the cold floor. The silent companionship has been their unique way of comforting each other for a very long time. From dark basement to run-down seance rooms, all the way until now. Until forever. Finally found you, Agent. The next day, at the Grey Institute of Biotechnology in Berlin. Maggie and Catherine enter the Research Institute with their invitations in hand. The marble floor and the clean white walls are almost dazzling as they reflect the internal lights. This place certainly has a very human feel to it. We're totally out of place here. We don't need to blend in. It's not like we're working here anyway. Oh, I thought we'd be spending a lot of time here. Dolls have places where dolls ought to be. There's nobody at the front desk of the research center. The two of them exchange looks and then walk in like it was the most natural thing in the world. Aiden. What's that behind it? I think we're in the Elite Medicine Development area. Excuse me, who might you be? Hey, she's back! The person that is actually woken up from a complete brainwashing of the Galatea Institute and decided to try and do something against it. A woman in a lab could approaches Maggie and Catherine with a curious look on her face, her wary gaze carefully examining them. Maggie produces an invitation. Ah, your teacher's guests. Hello, my name is Naylor. Did the receptionist run off again? In that case, please come with me, Miss Maggie. I'll take you to the teacher's room. I'm afraid your companion will have to wait outside. Very well. You have a teacher, Miss Naylor? Didn't you read it carefully? Naylor adjusts the glasses and points at the sender's name on the invitation. Lady of Ashes, or Miss Grey, my teacher. Maggie smiles in amusement. Grey is seated behind the desk, enjoying a fragrant cup of coffee. We meet again, Miss Maggie. Hello, Miss Grey. Are you getting used to Berlin's weather? I'll have to get used to it sooner or later. Would you like something to drink? I like whiskey and tequila myself. Unfortunately, this is a lab, and to ensure everyone is clear of minds, we typically only stock caffeinated beverages like tea and coffee. Maggie smiles. And what drinks do you like, Miss Grey? A dry martini, shaken, not stirred. Maggie nods, then gracefully extends her hand in an invitation. There's a little coin there, and Grey naturally grabs it. The line between reality and fantasy blurs, and the lights grow misty. The engine rolls and the wheels churn noisily over metal tracks. The sound of a clamorous train washes over her. Grey is seated inside a retro-style train carriage. She quirks up an eyebrow. Maggie is already working with practiced skill. A moment later, the high-stemmed glass before her is filled with a translucent liquid. A plump olive then plops into the glass. Your martini, please enjoy. With a smile, Grey brings up the wine glass to her lips and takes a sip. Just right. Grey downs the entire martini in one gulp. To have an entire drink finished in a single swig with nothing left over is the highest accolade a bartender can receive. Thank you for your largesse, Miss Grey. I like this welcome gift very much. The stiff drink brings a flush of pink to Grey's cheeks. She puts the glass down and looks at Maggie again. Is this also a legacy of the Fox Sisterhood? Oh yes, things like this rarely survive to the present day in such good condition. Still, it's a bit old, much like your jammer. Hiding one in a coin is an old trick that isn't too commonly seen nowadays. It is a little behind the times, but a new iteration of the system would require a lot of money and equipment. Is this an indirect request for funding and technical support? Mm-hmm. This is a necessary expenditure for the project. I told you, I've always been very generous to people of worth. Another martini, please. No problem. In an instant, Maggie has made another dry martini. Enjoy. Grace smiles and reaches out towards the glass, but her hand makes no effort to take it. Instead, her slender fingers gently brush the strands of Maggie's hair. Maggie reflexively tries to avoid her, but after a brief pause, she decides to stay put. Are you afraid? The servant should not look at the goddess in the eye. Are all the dolls from the Fox Sisterhood smooth talkers like you? It's basic upbringing for a social engineer. Relax, I'm just examining your body. It really is quite a mess. Is this the level of modified civilian dolls nowadays? That's why I need your support. That makes sense. Grace presses her palms against where Maggie's heart would be. It sinks into her chest inch by inch until her entire hand is within Maggie's ribcage. You ought to clear out your neurocloud, you know. Thank you. The keen sensation of pain makes Maggie realize that Grey has already taken control of her neurocloud. When she comes to, she finds herself still sitting in the same soft seat and looking at the same view out the window. However, Grey has vanished from a place opposite of her. A lifeless face appears in the train window. Please wait inside the cabin until the upgrade is complete. Could you at least tell me what you're doing to my neurocloud? We will be upgrading your antiquated system and temporarily opening an information system interface. An information system. The bee sting. It goes everywhere. I will repeat it for the last time. Stay inside the cabin and do not leave, or you will be considered trash and eliminated. The girl's face vanishes from the window. Maggie conjures a glass of lemonade, but it does nothing to soothe her knees. Wait a minute. She suddenly jumps to her feet and pulls open the cabin door. As expected, there are unusual changes in the corridor outside. The long, narrow corridor that would usually be there is gone, replaced by a dark, spacious hall. Several girls in white carry candles as they wander through it, like pale spectres gathering before the bed of the deceased. The Ouija board on the table spins wildly, and the air is filled with fluttering poker cards. So these are the modifications she's making. In a spacious and nearly lightless basement, a single girl stands in the corner. Poker cards fly out from her hands like spirit butterflies. The practice begins. The poker cards fly out with flawless precision, landing at their indicated locations. Maggie listens carefully. These girls in white are completely unaware of this basement. She smiles faintly in relief. You just don't understand me well enough, Miss Grey. I'm not going to just sit there and await my fate. That's a bad idea, Maggie. That's a bad idea. Well, let me just zoom out, and what is going on here? Yikes. Yep, there we have Miss Grey. Combat summary, what is our goal? The enemy has a control panel in green. Okay, that's a... We need to defend... okay. We need to defend, basically. I get to spawn 2 squads. So let me just spawn 2 generalists, I guess. Actually... Considering that this is easy difficulty, this will be fine. Okay. For this mission, you must prevent the enemy from accessing this control panel while it is green. Note, you must not engage the enemy on this node either. The control panel changes color every 2 turns. Okay. Good to know. This could be troublesome. No, never mind. It's fine. 416 killed them all. Metal Max moments. They blew up. It's fine. More importantly, I want to surround these two helipods at the bottom there. Brrt. I could make the squad more effective by replacing some machine guns with other machine guns, but it's fine. So it's only about the control terminals, not about the passcode terminals, I'm guessing. But MG4 Mod 3 is pretty fun. This should be a fairly easy fight, though. And they're all dead. Very good. Very good, very good. And there shouldn't be too much to this map, because these are now captured. We have more movement points, which is very nice. Now I do need to definitely, absolutely avoid you at any cost. Which panels are you actually... Okay, I can lure you. I can 100% lure you away from here. But I do want to check one thing real quick. I want to know whether or not I can interact with these passcode panels here. Big system, we have scanned the data here. It is all scrambled. Delete them all. Yes, sister. The white-haired girl leads several black-clad girls as they concentrate on deleting the scrambled data. The surface data was soon wiped, but the layer below is also contains vast quantities of scrambled code. Keep going. Yes, sister. After deleting several layers of scrambled code, even more scrambled code lies beneath. Big sister. Stop scanning this point. Move on to the next one. After the girls leave, Maggie smarts and steps out to collect her jammer. I'm gonna go and attack this one. While I make sure that you don't get any closer. And then I'm gonna retreat again and try to lure Grey to the top left corner. Because the main thing about this map is that you have to keep Grey in check. Okay. Now we can move you to this helipod, capturing it, essentially stopping the enemy reinforcements, dead in their tracks. Honestly, I'm very glad that at this point we actually have some machine guns that are just more useful than just the big four. Because having only the big four be useful is kind of boring. Tell me, what is going on up here? Big system, we've cleared out these areas so far. How should we prioritize the others? Let me see. The girls gather to discuss the upcoming plans. Maggie sneaks behind them to reach the control panel, which is glowing with soft light. She places her hand on the unlocked control panel. You have probably undergone resistance training, but this will open up certain possibilities for us. What we wish to see is the regret on your face after you spill everything. Give us the satisfaction, Griffin Commander. What are you doing? Return to your cabin at once. What happens? I think I got lost. We will not be merciful if you leave your cabin to cause trouble again. Oh my, I'm sorry. I'm going back right now. Interesting. You're not actually covering this tile, so I can actually stay here. So you should either move down or right, and right would work better. If you move down, okay, that's good. And now it's just a bit of shuffling. Just move over right, left, left, right. So the tiles in the very bottom are safe. I want to quickly check if I can do something with these as well. Nope. No, I can't. Move down here. Actually, kind of just, like, not alert you at all. I could probably just end the turn here and... She should move back to her starting position. Very good. Mission success, S rank, very nice. Okay, carriage 2. Or carriage F9, actually. This is probably going to be the last bit of story that we do for the day. In the lab with... Yes. Maggie comes to her senses on an operating table. She is the only one left in the vast room. Is the modification complete? The room is so big that even her words seem to echo a little. Maggie touches the place where a neurocloud is stored. Well, she really is a famous doctor. The best kind of feeling is when you feel nothing. Wait a minute, what about the contents of the job? Hello? Is anyone there? Nobody answers, and Maggie's gaze wanders through the room until it finally settles on a computer at the desk. The computer screen is in sleep mode, and after ensuring nobody's around, she walks towards it and taps the touchscreen lightly. Whoosh, the computer instantly lights up again. A girl in white appears on the monitor. The assignment details have been sent to you through the bee-sting system. The serial number is... that. What about Miss Grey? Big Sister Grey has other important matters to attend to. Maggie tries to open the file in NeuroCloud. Decrypting file so-and-so. So this Tarius will be my contact. When Maggie looks up again, the white-haired girl is already gone. After Maggie leaves, Grey pours herself another cup of coffee. We only managed to scan less than 90% of this doll's NeuroCloud data. Minor deviations are fine as long as they don't affect the big picture. In other words, if she can evade our system, if she can evade your system, it means she's capable of handling the job. As you wish. However, I do not like the presence of potential risks. Grey walks over to the record player and gently places the needle spinning on a record. Places the needle on a spinning record. Slow music fills the air. Don't worry, Big Sister Nemran. I guarantee your bee sting will take control of that lifeline. In the last carriage of the Colt Express, a pair of poker cards lie quietly on the table. A Queen of Hearts and a King of Hearts. They sit before Maggie and Catherine, respectively. It's finally over. No, it's only just begun. What'd she do to you? A major performance upgrade. So you won't have to worry about your body not being able to handle the NeuroCloud operations anymore? The problem isn't completely solved. They just expanded the capacity of certain parts. What a switch up it is. Every cent they give you has to be paid back twofold. Care to demonstrate? Maggie waves her hand and brings up a blue system interface in front of Catherine. The interface is extremely minimalistic. There's only a single entry field for her name. Maggie inputs her name. So this is the latest tech of the 21st century. With enough money, we can install the newest toys onto ourselves whenever they come out. The pop-up pages list all kinds of information about Maggie in exacting detail. No distinction is made for how important or trivial the information is. Even every word that Catherine said while she was griping about Maggie in the pantry earlier has been logged. That beast... That's the bee sting, and it gets in everywhere. Maggie now realizes that what you meant by that. This is scary. I can feel countless eyes staring at me. Well, at least we're not the enemies for now. The noise that I heard when I was sitting out there scared me to death. But after you showed up, it seemed to have stopped too. Yep, I made some changes to keep them in the dark. And here I thought... You thought I'd give this up for the sake of the deal? Yeah. No way. I wouldn't be me if I gave up something like this. It's almost like you've hit a loan shark to pay off a ruthless creditor. It's just how things are for those that don't belong anywhere. We need to be careful for every step of the way, because we have no room for error. One false move, and we'll plunge into a bottomless abyss. I hope we back the right person this time. Person? I couldn't sense anything like that from here. All I could tell is that she wasn't human, but I've never seen a doll like her before. I get the feeling that something big is going to happen, big enough to change the entire world. Another great flood? Well, we're insignificant specks compared to the flood in the world. But don't forget that only the tiniest ants can crawl through the gaps onto Noah's Arks. Yep, and the only creatures which survived all the way from the past until now are rats and cockroaches. Use a different metaphor. I hate cockroaches. 2 years later, in the workroom of the Intercontinental Railway Train Future, Maggie slips Susanna a card discreetly. Thanks for your help, Miss Susanna. Get off once you reach Poznan. Don't let them find you. Got it. Susanna takes the card casually. Maggie checks her own NeuroCloud data just as casually. After copying the information on all the passengers, she heads over to the bar within the dining carriage and takes a seat. She raises her glass. Tonight the tequila is on me. The Colt Express is open for business. Inside the Colt Express, on board the Intercontinental Railway Train Future. Maggie walks through the various carriages, making deals while also sifting through the security camera feed for various paths of the train future. The dining carriage, the first-class carriage, the second-class carriage, the restroom... And then the Colt Express starts shaking violently. Crap, that old hack. When she said she was only giving 10 minutes, she really meant it. Damn it, everyone out. All the adults making trades on the Colt Express are forcibly logged out. Maggie lifts her head from the table, and Catherine watches with a fearful look on her face as Baba Luba rushes in from outside the carriage. Baba Luba's making a move. I know that. Keep guarding my body. I'm about to find the objective. If we withdraw now, we'll have to find a hard time fighting under the leads. Got it. I'll think of a way to buy time. A thunderous gunshot rings out, shattering the neat rolls of crystal. Yeah, okay, we've read that. Yep, we've read that too. Yep, yep. 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 Yep, yep. Read all of this before. This, yep, yep, yep. Yes. Okay. Nope, that is also... Meg remains stunned over the table, completely still. The Vori begin to the work of tying up the passengers and rifling through their belongings. Catherine tries to drag Maggie's body behind the bar to hide it while rejoicing at the savior she's found. Nikolai. It's the sound of a transmission. He knows who it is even without picking it up. When Catherine saw him, he also caught sight of her. That means Maggie must be pretty close by. Dumb bitch, I helped you delay them for 15 minutes already. Something wrong? Daniel, who's standing beside Nikolai, notices unnatural stiffness. Most of them are regular adults. What could possibly be wrong? You don't have to be such a tryharder on me. Save it for the old lady. There are still several more carriages. We'd best set up the jammers ASAP. You aren't the only one working here. Take care of the restroom side, I'll handle the bar side. His communicator keeps vibrating. Nikolai silently cuts it off. Then he slowly ties up the doll to duck off to one side. 3 minutes later. I've taken care of it. Nikolai has only tied up 4 of the dolls. Daniel, you help him. Daniel ignores Nikolai and heads over to the bar. Behind the counter, he finds a trembling Catherine and unconscious Maggie on the ground. Daniel reports it with a strange look on his face. Baba, Maggie Ponzi is here too. She glances at Nikolai. It's been more than 10 minutes. We've made enough concessions to Tarius. Yes. You know the drill. Yes, Baba. Catherine hears a clear, crisp sound. The sound of a safety latch disengaging. She slowly looks up. I hope we don't meet again. Bad luck always happens when you show up. Babaluba. Babaluba pays Catherine no heed. Daniel presses his guns against Catherine's chest in a brusque manner. Takes aim at a neurocloud core. Wait, we're actually on a mission. Strictly speaking, we're allies. Mr. Nikolai, help! Mr. Nikolai! Nikolai glances at her and turns his head away. Once again, she feels despair wash over her. Let's get her to the answer to her desperate plea. Just as the bullet hits her, Catherine is suddenly shoved aside by great force. Maggie! Maggie awakens at a crucial moment, and with a push from her, the round misses its intended target and hits Catherine in the leg instead. Maggie looks up. Babaluba? There's a tactical doll hiding in the restroom. Stay alert. All the Vori take up the guns and point them at the restroom. The difference between the tactical doll and an ordinary doll is like heaven and earth. Calm down. We have ample firepower. Yes, Baba. While all the Vori are slowly moving toward the restroom, below the bar counter... Can you still move? I don't think so. Forget about me. Don't endanger yourself for the mission. Right. Is the tactical doll very strong? Using a favorite video game as an example, if your attack power point is 5, then hers would be 530,000. Looks like she'll be enough of a distraction for you to escape. But as I said, I do need to stop for the day. We will continue this tomorrow. So there's that. I do have the feeling that we're going to be fine and finishing this in time. I think. It does go for another 3 weeks, so if we do double streams every week, I think we should be okay, maybe. As I said, though, I do need to stop for the day. I'm completely out of time. I've already gone over, technically. So, let me see who I can raid for today. Holy shit, there's so many people live. Let's go say hello to Nitro, who's playing Outer Wilds. Which is a space game. It's pretty neat. I haven't played it myself yet, so I'm not going to be watching him for very long. But, he's great. He was here earlier, chilling. So, let's go say hello. And, I shall be back tomorrow with more Girls Frontline, as we go onto this train again. Have a good night, and thank you very much for being here. Take care. Goodbye.